Join the Craig Levitt Show Sunday evenings from 7 to 8 p.m. on 50,000 Watt News Talk 720 KDWN. The Craig Levitt Hour will be about living the American dream and empowering the American spirit. Sundays, 7 to 8 p.m.
Good to have you folks with us tonight. This is Craig Levitt. Welcome to the show. I have with me again tonight Christopher Finnegan, who is my production manager. Glad to have you with us tonight, Christopher.
Glad to be here once again.
Got to tell you, we have this charming lady back in the control booth. She really is something. Her name is Denise, and I got to tell you, she is a talented person. Not only does she keep us on the air, and not only does she keep everything running, but she is a photographic artist. I got to tell you, she takes pictures with a camera. I take pictures with a camera, but her pictures are beautiful artwork. I mean, they're incredible, and one of these days, I'm going to try to see if I can't figure out a way to let all of you be able to see her great work. Good to have you with us. We started tonight with the Air Force hymn. I am a veteran of the United States Air Force, and this is my way of saying to all of the veterans, thank you for your service. We want to take a few moments out of every show to say thank you to those of you who have served our country. There's only about 1.5% of the people who have ever lived on this continent who have served, so that the 98, 99% could enjoy the freedoms that we do. So thank you very, very much, you veterans. And, of course, I can't talk about veterans without talking about P-Dub. That's Percy Wood. Those of you that have taken my advice, gone to the Boulevard Mall there on Maryland Parkway. If you've gone to the food court and you have stopped by and had some of those barbecue ribs with original barbecue sauce and some soul food, then you understand what I tell you that about this incredible food that P-Dub creates. And hey, P-Dub's got a new thing going on.
He does. He's got Double A. It's not here yet, but it's going to be here soon. November the 8th, it's going to be in the brand new section of the Boulevard Mall off Maryland Parkway. At the very end, the perfect spot.
And it's the only food establishment on that half of the mall, isn't that correct?
That's absolutely right. It's perfectly located.
Oh, it really is. And Dubway's, and I think the 8th is this Saturday. Is that correct?
That's my understanding.
It's going to be the coolest place to slip in and have a little lunch. They're going to have sandwiches, and they're going to have some salad soups, some desserts, and it's a quaint restaurant. I mean, it's a quaint shop. It really has some class, and it really has some dignity. Can you say that about a sandwich shop? Whatever's.
Well, until you start eating them, then you can say it. But once you start eating them, they get all over the place. So
That's
then you
right.
can't really be dignified about that.
But I'll tell you, go over there on Saturday. Chris and I may be there. And at least for a little while, we maybe we'll do a little bit of live broadcasting or whatever. Anyway, and then, of course, while you're in the mall, be sure to stop by and see Andy Caudry at Iceberg Diamonds. Folks, got to tell you, this Iceberg Diamond thing is really incredible. And you can go to the Craig Levitt page, the Craig Levitt Show website.com, and you can see, some pretty great pictures that were taken, from the Iceberg Diamonds. And we've got some fun things that we're going to be doing. Now, guys, if you're out there listening to this, okay, tell your wives to go make you a sandwich for a second, okay? Okay, is she gone? All right. You know you haven't been that great this year, right? I mean, every husband knows that at some point during the year, their life and their relationship was in jeopardy. And how do you solve those kinds of problems? You buy diamonds. You get jewelry. You know you're going to do it. It's just a matter of where you want to go and how much you want to spend. Well, when you go to Iceberg Diamonds, you get jewelry, the stones of which are certified by the Gemological Institute of America, the best paper in the world. You know what you're getting. You know the quality. It's a great place. You're going to do it anyway, right? I mean, all of you know that at this time of the year, the wife has been patient. The girlfriend has been very tolerant. Now, they're kind of thinking that they better get a little extra in the stocking. You follow my drift? Well, go to Iceberg Diamonds, and between now and Christmas, are you writing this down? Tell her to get you a glass of milk too, because she can't come in the room yet. Between now and Christmas, there are going to be some incredible auctions at Iceberg Diamonds, and you'll be able to get some fabulous pieces at auction prices. You got to keep listening to this show so that you'll know the times and dates of these auctions, but they are absolutely incredible. Hey, I got to do something that may be inappropriate. I want to share a joke with you. Okay. Is the wife back? Okay. Well, chew with your mouth closed and don't slurp your drink. Okay. This guy goes to work one Monday morning, and his eye is swollen and bloody and black and blue. And one of the guys he was working with says, "Wow, what happened to you?" And he said, "Well, I went to church." And the guy said, you went to church and you came back with an eye like that? And he says, "Well, yeah. I was seated behind, in the pews, and I was seated behind a lady that would probably shop at the plus sizes. Sweet lady. And we stood up to sing a hymn. And while we were singing, I noticed that her skirt was kind of caught in her backside. So I reached across the pew and I tugged on it and gently pulled it out, and she turned around and smacked me." And the guy said, "Whoa, and that happened at church?" And he said, "Yeah." So the next Monday, the poor guy comes back and he's got a black eye, huge bump and bruises, and looks like heck. And his workmate said, "So what happened? You went back to church?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "It was the most interesting thing." He said, "As fate would have it, I found myself sitting behind this same woman. And she stood up. When we sang the hymns, you stand up, and she stood up. And I noticed that her skirt was caught, uncomfortably in her backside. And the guy next to me reached over and tugged on it and pulled it out. But I knew she didn't like that, so I very carefully tucked it back in." Anyway, there are no good deeds that go unpunished. You might have the best intent in your heart to do something good, and you get whacked for it. But I got to tell you something that happened on Halloween. Are you all ready for this? Do you love Halloween? Okay, I love Halloween, number one, because it's the beginning holiday of the holiday season. It was really funny at one of the local stores where we live. On one side, they had Christmas decorations. On the other side, they had Halloween decorations. And I really asked if they had anything they could use for the 4th of July. But now it's time to get into the season. I want to tell you something. This was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me on Halloween night. We live in a neighborhood that's rather diverse, and most of the kids who are there are Hispanic, and I love them. They struggle with English. I struggle with Spanish. But In fact, they call me Mooey Huey. Anyway, every time I come out of the house, all the kids in the neighborhood, it's like, the Pied Pipeline of Hamlin. I mean, all the kids run up and they ask me to do rap. So I'll go boom, bop, bop, boom, bop, bop. And they'll give me a subject that they want me to rap about. And I'll do it, and they all laugh. And then I have this little Godfather routine I do, and they think the way that I say forehead is really funny. So they go, say forehead, say forehead. I go, hey, I got a forehead. I don't know. What do you mean? And so they laugh and laugh. Well, on Halloween, they all came by the house, and I would hand out candy, and then they would say, do a rap. I go, boom, pop, pop, boom, pop. And we just had so much, and so much fun, and we just laughed and laughed. About 9:30, there was a knock at the door, and it was too late. It was dark. I thought all the kids definitely had to be home. Jeez. So I went to the door, and I opened it, and there was all my little friends. And they each went and got into their bag, and they picked out a piece of candy, each one of them, and gave it to Leanne and to me, and all said, happy Halloween. And I thought, thank you. That's never happened to me before. I mean, when I went out Halloweening, trick-or-treating, or whatever you call it, it was just, gathering cavity bait. I would never have given it back. But these kids they were so giving. And what a lesson I learned, especially now that we're into the holiday season, the season of giving, the season of thinking of others. I thought that was the coolest thing, that a bunch of little kids would all want to give one piece of candy back to Leanne and to me and to Cheyenne, our daughter, so that we would have a happy Halloween. I just think that's absolutely incredible.
It's a very special thing that happened to you.
Well, kids don't do that, but these kids do. And so to them on the air, I just want to say, hey, to all my little amigos and amigas, all my little gang, thank you so much for your kindness and for your wonderful attitudes on this Halloween. Chris and I had an interesting experience this last week. We spent some time in an incredible little town to the east of here, northeast, called Mesquite, Nevada. And it is an incredible place. Have any of y'all been to Mesquite? I mean, I know once you live in Las Vegas, you're kind of trapped here. And you think, wow, where can you go have more fun than in Las Vegas? Can I tell you? Mesquite. I mean, it is a Norman Rockwell type of a small town with a metropolitan flavor. I mean, it's really wonderful. You don't get traffic congestion. You never see tagging or any kind of signs of miscreant behavior. It's a great place. What do you think, Christopher? Remember, we've had some fun there.
I think it's an excellent place. It's a very unusual mix. You don't expect to find a small town kind of feel with big town amenities, but that's exactly what you get in Mesquite.
And it's so much fun. And I got to tell you, the food there is incredible. The people are incredible. It's just so much fun. So Christopher and I decided this week that we wanted to do a special Discover Mesquite promotion so that we can tell you folks about some of the fun things that there are to do in Mesquite, Nevada. And there are lots of things. So next week on the radio show, we're going to talk to some of the entrepreneurs out there, some of the businesses, some of the people. And we'll have some information for you so that you can begin to plan a weekend, plan a night. I mean, it is 80 miles away, but let me tell you what, if you live in Los Angeles, generally you're 90 to 100 miles away from downtown Los Angeles where you work. So don't let the distance bother you, because it's a great place to be. Now, we have some new information, a new announcement. Are y'all ready for this? Okay, put the plate down, put the glass of milk down. You can finish your sandwich in just a minute. This is really something that is going to be fun. I'm going to let Christopher tell you about it. Take it away, Christopher.
Kind of waiting for the drum roll to end. It's not in.
There you go.
Okay. We are starting tomorrow, November the 3rd. We are going to be launching our daily radio show.
Yay!
Yay! And we're going to talk about things like Mesquite, Nevada, and all the entrepreneurs there. And we're going to talk about all kinds of fun stuff. It's going to be a little different than what we do here on Sundays, a little more personal maybe, and a lot more interactive. You're going to be able to chat with us and call us and do all kinds of fun stuff with us.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be every day. And we understand that because you have, like, jobs or family commitments, we'll do the show at 11 o'clock in the morning, but it will run all day, and it will stay up all week. So that if you can't tune in while we're doing the show, and it's interactive, it's on your computer, you simply go to the CraigLevittShow.com and click on our morning radio show or our daily radio show, and it'll come up. And we're now, can people contact us like they can here?
They absolutely can. We got a Facebook page. We're on YouTube. We're on Google+. We're on Twitter. Any of those mediums.
So if they hear the show and it's the recorded version, then and they have a comment, they can go to Twitter or whatever and ask their questions or make their comments. And the very next day, we're gonna bring them up and cover them, right?
Absolutely. And
now, is there a telephone number they can call in while we're on the air so that if they want to talk to us live, they can?
There certainly is. As people might have figured out by now, our Sunday show has its own number, so we have our own number. Rather than tell people what it is, I'm going to tell people, go to the CraigLevittShow.com. Everything's right there. Get you started, get you ready to go, and there you go.
Okay, can you get this information by going to Sean Hannity? No. Can you get it by going to Bill O'Reilly? No. Can you get it by going anywhere else?
Absolutely not. You have to go to the CraigLevittShow.com.
CraigLevittShow.com, and you're going to have some fun. On this daytime radio show, it has a much bigger listening audience. And we can offer some prizes and some really, really fun things. So tomorrow 11, if you're available, check it out. If not, check it out anytime you want, because as I understand it, it will be dated so that people can see the time and the date the show was aired, and then they can listen to it. And if they want to make comments, they can write them down, send them in, and we'll pick them up and talk about them on the next show. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. And just to inform people, we are going to be having giveaways and fun little things, so you might want to listen to every show. You'll never know what you might hear.
Yeah, and remember, when you listen to the Craig Levitt Show, you get everything you will ever need to know about everything you will ever need to know everything about. I mean, this is the place where you get solid information, no politics. It's nonpartisan. However, if people want to talk about political issues, I guess we would.
We can talk about anything.
Anything you want to talk. We talk about what people want to talk about. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So remember, the CraigLevittShow.com. Now, they can also hear our show tonight.
They absolutely can. If they're by a radio and they're within range, 7:20 a.m. And if they're not, iHeartRadio or TuneIn Radio. And if people want to get started and get that interactive spirit going, give us a call right now at 702-257-5396.
Yeah, you can call in and talk to us. In fact, last week we had a really nice lady from Victorville, California that called in. And unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to really do justice to her comments and questions. And so if you want to call in, do it. And if we can't cover everything on this show, then tomorrow or the next day, we'll go ahead and cover that information in more detail because we do control the time on our day show. So that'll be a lot of fun. Folks, I mean, I got to tell you, this is going to be a fun radio station because it's going to be all about you and what you want to talk about and what you want to accomplish. Now, let me ask you a question. Okay, Guy, I know that you had your wife go out and get you a piece of cake, after you finished your sandwich. Put the cake down, put the fresh glass of milk. Not there. The cat will tip it over. Put it up on the table. Okay, good. Now, how many of you out there are satisfied with your own personal economic and financial situation? Are all of you out there as wealthy as you would like to be? Are there any of you out there? Now, don't sneak a bite of cake. Okay, just a minute. Be patient. Are there any out there who have a job but would like to have a better job? Or who would like to have their own business? Or who would like to qualify for management? And are there any of our veterans out there that want to do that? Okay. We're starting, as we indicated last week, a new promotion called
Operation Luck.
We believe in America that the majority of the people who will succeed do so by pure luck.
Amelia for you.
Oh,
From Victorville.
Okay, Amelia, this is Craig Levitt.
Oh, Craig, I'll make it quick. I magically turned the radio on just as you were explaining about your new show. I'm so excited about that.
Good.
And I was halfway listening to another show just because it's the folk scene, but I'm with you, and now I know that we can call in and talk about anything.
Anything you want.
And you know everything. You truly do. So you are, this is exciting because we're over here just figuring out how we can, I like the interactive thing. And it takes people like you to organize it. And so thank you. I'll be one of your people.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much, Amelia. This is terrific, and thank you so much.
I'll listen to what you have to say because I know you're wrapping up. Bless you guys. Bye.
Okay, we're only wrapping up because we got news in just a second, and then we'll be right back. This is Craig Levitt, and we are back. There was just one thing I wanted to comment on. Amelia, I just love you and your friends, and thank you for your kindness, but I'm not the smartest guy. I'm not the brightest bulb on the tree. You know what they say. I mean, Denise is absolutely a genius back in the sound booth. I mean, she works like she's got four hands. And of course, Christopher, he is the brightest bulb on the tree. And it's good that I have them with me. And, of course, I do take all of the credit. And thank you so much. I want to make sure that everybody understands about our new show and how it works and how it's tied into what we're doing here on Sunday night. And I want Christopher, who really is the architect of this new show and what we do, to explain it a little bit more carefully, because I have a tendency to, well, it's like when I frost a cake. I mean, I put all the frosting right in the middle and then I lick it all off. So, Christopher, why don't you tell us a little bit more in detail about our new show and what we're going to accomplish with it?
Okay, I will do my best to be a little bit more loquacious this time. There was some confusion.
Wait a minute. Loquacious.
He caught me.
You know, the guy last week, he only answered in monosyllable, syllabic words. He goes, yeah, yes, no, sure, okay, great. And now he comes up with loquacious. I am impressed. Okay, old loquacious one.
There you go.
Go ahead.
At least I'm listening. So there was some confusion. Our daily show is not going to be on KDON. Just be very clear about that right now. It's not on KDON. It's going to be available through thecraiglevittShow.com. And if people want to hear it in other ways, it will be available. They can get us through Spreaker. When they go to the website, there'll be different ways they can subscribe and do other things, and we encourage them to do that. Friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, mention us on Twitter. And that's how you interact with us. You can call us, you can text us, you can send us a message on Twitter, on our Facebook. If you're following us on Twitter, we'll have hashtags you can use to get in the discussion. There's going to be lots of fun interaction, but it will not be through KDON.
Well, now, see, I'm easily confused because of my status on the tree. So if people don't want to go through all of that, they don't understand all that, because I don't understand all that. Twitter was what my heart did when I met Leanne. So when they say, it's you can get us on Twitter, I'm thinking people with a heart condition. So just do this simply. If you go to the CraigLevittShow.com, there is a link that you can click on. Just simply click on it, and that will put you in touch with the current show and all of the archived shows. Is that correct?
Well, when you go to the CraigLevittShow.com, you're going to see the familiar front page. It is going to look a little different because we're going to redesign it so it's a little bit more appropriate for what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, because I designed the first one, and he hasn't liked it since day one.
I'm not even going to go there. Okay. But when you go there, you can listen to all of our archives just like you could before. But if you're on the page at the proper time, you'll automatically be able to click on a live stream directly from the CraigLevittShow.com. And if you just want to listen, that's fine. There's no problem with that. But you can interact with us. There's going to be a chat room. There's going to be various methods on that page that are going to allow you to get to us. Every show we have, we're going to have a discussion attached to it. And it's also going to have all that nice interactive stuff to it. So even if it's a past show, send us a message. Get online. Go there. The chat room will just be for live stuff. So don't go in any chat room when it's from 3 months ago. But if you want to go onto our Facebook or go onto our Twitter and send us a message, even if it's a past show, we'll still hear it. We'll still see it. We'll still talk about it.
Yeah, and the reason that's so important, folks, is because if you have a question, anything you want to talk about, we talk about on this show, and we will on our daily show at the CraigLevittShow.com, things that people talk about. And so you can, let me get this straight now, Christopher, they can contact us any way they want and tell us something that they would like to talk about, because we know everything about everything you will ever need to know everything about. If you bring us up a subject, we're going to talk about that. And so there will never be contact with us, even if they're listening to an archived or a pre-taped show. There will never be anything you want to talk about that we won't talk about. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. And if people are uncomfortable airing all their questions and all their information out on the general public through various means, they can just contact us privately, and we'll be more than happy to talk with them that way as well.
Yeah, because, see, you people are the important ones. And of course, I always have to say our veterans are the important ones, and everything we do hopefully will help our veterans. But we want to help all of you, as well. Terribly, just really excited about this new program because we have a much broader audience. I mean, actually, we go worldwide.
That's correct.
With this with our daily show. But Amelia and all your friends in Victorville, thank you. And I really want someday to stop there and visit the Roy Rogers and Dale Evans Museum and see Trigger. I grew up on the Happy Trails to You, that kind of thing, and I didn't know what a happy trail was. But they would sing it every Saturday morning on TV, and so I figured, well, I got to find myself a happy trail. And ladies and gentlemen, I think I have done it here on the Craig Levitt Show. This idea about Operation Luck is really an important one, because I do believe, I mean, I've been around a long time. Moses and I played soccer on the same team, and that was a long time before they had shin guards.
And he called you old man.
Well, he could outrun me, even though he had that staff. I couldn't keep up with him because he was running with 3 legs, and I only had 2. It wasn't fair. That's the whole thing. So this Operation Luck. Do you remember last week when we introduced Operation Luck? and we talked about what luck is. Do you remember that, folks? But don't answer. I can't hear you. Just shake your head and let everybody. Yeah. See, and if you, but if you don't remember, here's what luck is. Remember, we talked about Urban Meyer, the head football coach at Ohio State University. Now used to be at the University of Utah, and he. There you go. And he taught the teammates, his team and his football team, that luck was when preparation met opportunity. Now think about that. Preparation meets opportunity. That is luck. Now that presupposes that you've had adequate preparation so that you're prepared to meet an opportunity. Right, Christopher?
Yeah, that's how I understand it.
Well, I thought you were going to be loquacious on me. Okay.
How loquacious would you like me to be?
Now, what happens? Okay, now, finish that bite. Okay, swallow it. What happens if you're not prepared and a great opportunity comes your way? That's not good luck, is it?
No, that's bad luck.
That's bad luck. And so with our Operation Luck Promotion, and we're going to get into this, I'm going to tell you folks out there right now, because we do know everything that you will ever need to know everything about. We know it here. If you want to tell us what your dream is, what your vision is, what you would like to achieve, what you would like to accomplish in your life, whether it's getting skills training or more education, or whether you want to learn how to put your own business together and be successful, entrepreneurship is the backbone of the American economy. If you want to get into the game and get where the big money is, we'll help you get prepared. Isn't that right?
We'll put you on the path. We'll let you be the trailblazer to your own happy trails.
Okay. I'm going to ask Christopher a little something. That was a good bridge. Did you people catch that? Happy trail. Okay, anyway, Christopher he wears many hats.
So many hats.
Yeah, and it's not because he's a schizophrenic. That's not the problem.
My head is huge.
And he doesn't have multiple personality disorder.
Not that you
He
know
has
of.
other disorders, but not that one. But he is not only great at what he does with me, but he has his own little thing. He's a genius. And he told me that himself. And he said that, I have a computer that is really so bad that it can't even be called an abacus. And he said, Craig, I can tear that apart and build you a brand new computer right up to date. It's more powerful. It'll have everything you need much easier and less expensively than you can go to a store and purchase a new one. I said, really? He said, yeah, computers aren't that hard. And I said, they aren't? And he says, no. Well, all you have to do is take a look at all the components. You have to know where everything. He went through for about 5 minutes describing how to build a computer. And he says, and here's how you make it more powerful. And here's how you make it faster. Here's how you build up the memory. All these kinds of things. And then he looked at me and he said, Craig, stop drooling and close your mouth. Because I was just in awe of what this man can do. Now, Christopher is also a mentor in one of the courses that we offer for people who want to get into the computer repair, building, programming industry. Now, Christopher came up with this idea. And so I'm going to let him tell you what he would do if somebody out there wanted to have an opportunity to increase their finances, to get into a new field. Christopher has a great plan. What is that, Christopher?
Well, as anyone that is employed or has been employed in any of these fields would know, especially the technical fields, you come out of school and you know the basics, and you know what you need to know to get the job done, but you don't have the skills that employers are looking for in a lot of cases.
And it's not only true in your field, it's true in just about every field. In fact, if you've got an MBA, a Master of Business Administration, and you go to work for a major corporation, they're going to tell you the day you sign up, forget everything you learned, and we'll teach you what you need to know to be successful in our business, in our industry, right?
That's absolutely correct. I mean, one of the biggest things, especially in the tech industry, is company culture, and you can't be taught that out of a book.
What's company culture?
It's about how people interact. It's about the hiring practices, why they hire the people they hire, how the teams are put together, how they function.
So if somebody wanted to be mentored by you, what would you do? What would they have to do with you?
Well, they would still want to go to school, obviously. You still need to have the basics. And I would be more than happy to tutor them and help them get those basics. But then I would also let them work with me and do all the stuff that I do so they could actually see how to apply what it is they're learning as they're learning it, which makes the learning all that much more solid.
See, that's called OJT, or on-the-job training, and there is not a business school in the United States that will not agree that on-hands experience trumps book learning.
Absolutely, and that used to be all we had. We didn't have all these colleges and community colleges and universities, all that stuff, forever and ever and ever. It used to be that's how we did professions. We had trades. You went to a mentor. You learned through someone that was a master.
Yeah, and that's how people became successful.
Yeah.
Now, Christopher is, like I say, he is a genius. I'm not going to tell you what his IQ is because I can't count that high. But I can tell you one thing, that if he is qualified to mentor someone in the computer industry and all of its genres and all of its categories and classifications, we also have people in the business world who will take somebody in and teach them how to organize a business, how to start a business, how to run a business, how to do all of these kinds of things. I'm still irritated that at the last job fair about a month ago, non-commissioned officers and even officers who were rotating out of active duty into the civilian life were told they didn't have proper management skills. Can you believe they said that? I mean, folks, I got to tell you, that's like swallowing a cactus for me, that our soldiers are not prepared for management. Anyway,
and the worst part of that is, who are they saying were prepared? The people that had book knowledge.
Yeah, who have never served, who have never put their life. There's a difference between knowing what to do because you've learned it and actually having to do it to save yours and other people's life. It's like being married. If you're dating a girl, everything is always just really nice, but it's not real until you get married. And then you realize how much your life is in danger. And you have got to have proper relationship skills, right? What you learned when you were dating? No. You never had bad breath. You never wore dirty socks. You always had on deodorant and clean, combed your hair. Always were pleasant. As soon as you say, I do, all of that ends. And so what you learned when you were dating doesn't help you a lot in your relationship after you're married. Guys, take it from me. I've married the best woman on the face of the earth. She's beautiful, and I am her servant. And I love that. But it's like that, what Christopher was saying. Did you catch that? Book learning does not prepare you for actual performance.
And it never will.
It never will. You got to be out there on the front lines fighting, learning the skills that will make it possible for you to survive. And you get that by OJT, on-the-job training with somebody who knows what they're doing, right?
That's the only way.
Now, I'll tell you what, if you want to learn computers, don't talk to me. The new computers have moved the turn-on switch, and I can't find it. So I called Christopher. He comes over, he turns my computer on. He said to me one day, says, Craig, let me see you turn this computer on. So I leaned down and I said, oh, you're so beautiful and I love you. You're everything I could ever want. And it didn't turn it on. He says, no, I mean by the switch.
And out popped a little flash drive.
That's right. So, folks, I'm just telling you. And is this going to be free, do you think? No. If people want to have a new career, it isn't free. Because if you don't have to pay for something, you really don't appreciate what you have. If you're willing to invest in yourself, then you can accomplish anything. Now, that's what the little term Operation Luck is all about. We want to prepare you and provide a way for you to be prepared so that when an opportunity comes, either an opportunity that you have created or an opportunity that just comes your way that somebody else creates, that you can merge the two and have good luck and not be like the millions who sit at home on entitlement checks and say, well, there might be opportunities out there, but nobody wants me because I can't do this. Of course they don't want you if you're not prepared and qualified. So what's the answer? Dump all the opportunities? No. The answer is have another sandwich after the show. But get prepared. If you have a dream, you have to make that dream come true. And how do you do it? You invest in yourself. You get the training, the skills, the knowledge that you need. And then I promise you, the opportunities will flood in your direction. Paraphrasing on an old saying, you build a better you, and opportunities will beat a path to your door. And I sincerely believe that.
I couldn't have said it any better.
Isn't that cool? I mean, it's a good principle, but what I was saying wasn't that cool is that Mr. Loquacious over here couldn't say it any better. I think that is so cool. No, what you want to do, and Amelia and my friends out there in Victorville and all over Nevada, Utah, Arizona, all the way up to Montana, into Colorado and New Mexico, learn this principle that preparation, proper, adequate preparation, when it meets opportunity, is good luck, and you will have good fortune. I just don't think there's a better way to say it than that. And so what we're going to do, are you ready for this again? What we're going to do, this is so cool. This is so cool, folks, that you're probably going to have to go get a sweater or a shawl to keep from getting chilled. It is so cool. What we're going to do for the next little while on the Craig Levitt Show, both Denise is back in the sound booth shivering, and so she just put on a scarf. It is so cool. And a sweatshirt. That is the power of good radio. When you can. Now, so what we're going to do is we're going to start advertising people who have prepared themselves and who were ready to accept an opportunity when it came, and who have started a business, who are working, building their dream. And we're gonna call it entrepreneurs in motion. Because you remember Newton's theory of physics and motion. Something in motion tends to stay in motion. Something that is idle and stopped tends to stay idle and stopped. And so Entrepreneurs in Motion is the story of people in Las Vegas, in Mesquite, and all over our listening audience who are in motion and who are using that motion and that momentum to make the very most of the opportunities they prepared for. And it's going to be exciting, don't you think?
I think it will be, and people need to understand that when you have a mentor, that's giving you motion. They're imparting some of that motion onto you.
I've taken so many tests in my life. Well, that's because I was a test tube baby. No. Anyway, I've taken so many tests for real estate and for insurance and all of its categories. I was a gemologist with the Gemological Institute of America, the number one gemological laboratory in the world. And by the way, iceberg diamonds, they use GIA, Gemological Institute of America paperwork. But the most I have ever learned was when somebody who was a success in the business or in the occupation I wanted to be in sat me down and said, okay, pay attention. Here's what I want you to do. I don't want you to sit there and watch me. I'm going to show you how to do something. I want you to do it until you've mastered it. And as soon as you have mastered it, then I'm going to have you do something else. And that's how every business I've ever been in or ever started. It was because I was taught by somebody who let me get into motion, an entrepreneur in motion.
And that motion is invaluable. If you don't have it, you've got no value. If you've got it, you've got value.
And I got to tell you, people, if you're sitting out there and you are not absolutely jumping up and down, screaming, I have a dream, I have a vision, I have something I want to accomplish, I'm going to get a hold of those guys on the CraigLevittShow.com tomorrow morning, because we will teach you anything that you want to know, because we will teach you everything you will ever need to know about everything you will ever have to know everything about. And learning how to use luck to be successful is on the top of our list. Hey, my dear friends, Amelia out there in Victorville, California, all of you, this is Craig Levitt.
And this is Chris Finnegan, and we hope to see you tomorrow.
Yes, and Denise, thank you for all you've done to our veterans. Thank you for your service, and to all, God bless you all, and may all your dreams come true.